Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are continuing the Covert Go Red Color Challenge Week with something that we haven't seen in a minute. Some of you may have been playing Chandra Tribal this whole time. I really have not been. This deck is something that people got really hyped about from M20, because M20 introduced Chandra Acolyte of Flame, Chandra Novice Pyromancer, and Chandra the Awakened Inferno all at once. And all of a sudden it was, oh my god, we can just play an oops all Chandra strategy. And there you go. We also got Chandra's Regulator, and we also got Chandra's Embercat to hang out in the deck. And I don't think the deck ever lived up to real expectations. It wasn't competitive. And it had a few problems. One, we just came out of the War of the Spark meta. Planeswalkers were everywhere, which meant the Elder Spell was a key card in many strategies, especially in Esper Control, which would just blow up all of the Planeswalkers, all of them. So having 3 Chandras didn't really matter. So that was the problem back then. Now we enter the new meta, and it's like, well, do we play Chandra now? Well, there was this card called Field of the Dead, which just absolutely trounced on any mid-range strategy. And that is what we've got here. It's kind of like red control, but it's really mid-range. It tries to assert itself in the early game with removal spells. It has some ramp into nice mid-rangey planeswalkers, and then it turns the corner hard as soon as an opportunity presents itself. So now Field of the Dead is, as you see in this grayed out way, banned. Bad Field of the Dead. The new villain is, of course, another strong mid-range threat, Oko, the Thief of Crowns. Now, how does this deck deal with an Oko? Well, Oko can make many things into Elks, but Oko cannot make Planeswalkers into Elks. So, if we can defend and keep a Planeswalker on the battlefield, maybe it's okay. That is the hard part of it. But the deck has a ton of removal to help accomplish just that. We have 4 copies of Bone Crusher Giant, the only Eldraine card that's really helping us out at all. We have 4 copies of Chandra's Triumph, which, if we have a Chandra Planeswalker, deals 5 to a target, which is very nice. We have 3 Lava Coils because Questing Beast is easily the bane of this deck. And actually, if the Oko decks are still playing Questing Beastie, then we're just always behind. But Questing Beast was a 4 of in all these green decks, primarily because of Field of the Dead and the zombies. So people are starting to cut back on it a little, which means that Lava Coil does the actual job that it was intended for, and maybe can save us after only one of our planeswalkers get munched on. But regardless, I'm curious to see where this stacks up, because I actually think it's good against a few kinds of decks. I think it can be decent against Gruul. I think it can be decent against Selesnya, Golgari, and Mono Red, the creature decks of the meta, where our opponent plays a creature, we kill it. They play a creature, we kill it. They play a creature, we kill it. Then we play a Planeswalker and just start activating it. And if we can keep the Planeswalker on the battlefield for a few turns, we run away with the game, which is a weird style for Mono Red, but it can work. The deck also has a lot of pretty awesome combos to turn the corner. Chandra's Regulator, in conjunction with Novice Pyromancer and Chandra Acolyte of Flame, I have attacked the opponent out of nowhere for 20 damage with the elemental tokens, thanks to Chandra's Regulator duplicating the abilities. So hopefully I'll get to show you some of how that works. And the other one is Chandra the Fire Artesian and Chandra Acolyte of Flame with Regulator. You can just put a ton of loyalty on your planeswalkers very quickly using the 0 ability, and then using the -7, you just throw that loyalty at the face. There's some really cool stuff you can do. I hope we get to see it. An unknown MVP is Mobilized District, and because we're in mono red, we can afford to play all 4. Once you have a few Chandras on the battlefield, these become cheap to activate, and they help turn that corner and get the damage in very, very fast. Don't forget that this has Vigilance, so even after you turn it into a creature, you can tap it for mana, both on your turn and the following turn if it lives. So, something to keep in mind. Alright, that's enough of me going on and talking about the deck. Let's dive right in and let the Chandra Tribal nonsense begin. Ooh. I have to draw 2 lands out of, let's see, 1, 2, and 3, 4 draws. I can do it. I believe in me. And it looks like we don't dodge the Simic for long. Or at all. as our very first opposing play is a temple. So here we go. And a Paradise Druid, and that's probably game. Can't interact with that. Can't do anything about that. Bring forth the Oko, the Wicked Wolf, the whatnots. Overgrown Tomb. Mirrorleaf Pixie, okay. Not quite what I expected. Would you like to get in there, little druid? No? Alright, well, we'll stomp this. Then I have to think about, how do I set up a board where, like, a Nissa doesn't kill my first Chandra? It's really actually hard. I don't know if it's even possible. I think that I'm just playing Bone Crusher here to have something on the battlefield that can possibly defend a Chandra. Yarok. Not quite what I expected, but awesome, because I can play Chandra Novice Pyromancer, make 2 mana, and Chandra's Triumph will deal 5 to the Yarok. I wish, though, that I could kill this Paradise Druid. I wish I could take this spot to Bone Crush it. In the meantime, I'm leaving this back to defend the Chandra. Planeswalkers on the board are the lifeblood of this deck. It is the only thing we can really do that works out. Circuitous Route. Our opponent, when I saw the Simic, you know, I made a lot of guesses about the opponent's deck, but they are definitely on their own planet, and it looks like they've got some red and black in there. I don't know what to do. We could get the Awakened Inferno down. It's pretty hard to argue about that. But if we play this one, if we play the Fire Artesian, we also have Bone Crusher that can activate. Stomp something if this turns sideways. I don't know though. I'm kind of thinking I think I just need the power.
So reach into that ley line thing.
Just need to go deep. Need to go big, and need to start the clock.
No pressure.
We'll put out another mobilized district and hold back our Bone Crush. Just defending the Novice Pyromancer, and it's 5 color. No, it's not. No white. Well, that's a good choice. White sucks right now. That white color challenge, man. Mirror March. Oh, it's on. It's on. We have to close this game. Okay. It's like that, y'all. It's only 1 mana to power up my districts here. If I play a Chandra, which makes sense. Oh, I shouldn't have played the land first. That was the mistake. Yep, now I lose this land. That was an oopsie. I make oopsies. Alright, let's make some red. Let's activate a district. And activate a district. Send them in. Send in everything. 10. I think if I get to untap next turn, I'm going to win no matter what, but you know, the question is, do you leave back a Bone Crusher Giant to defend a Chandra or 2? But I think the opponent knows they have to go face with whatever this last card is and the Mirror March. So yeah, let's try to kill them. And they go to 9. And we'll plus the Chandra again.
Looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
And we'll hope that we are not on the bad end of the coin flips today. Cross your fingers. It's a land. Opponent moving around, moving their cursor around, trying to figure out what to do here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This much mana, what do you do? Endray's Forerunners would be hilarious. I mean, for everybody watching at home, I suppose. Oh, okay. Sure. That doesn't work with Mirror March at all, but I guess you can stuff that in your deck. Now what are you doing? You still have 2 emblems or 2 mobilized districts. Like, what does this accomplish? Sure. Acolyte of Flame. Alright, so now these cost 3 to activate, so I can get in there with 1. Bone Crusher Giant emblems finish the job. Your face. Opponent was some kind of an interesting ramp deck. We didn't get to see Mirror March do the thing, though. And your turn, and Awaken Inferno. Almost got lit up by a Mass Manipulation. Definitely one of the cards that wrecks us. I was hoping for less Agent of Treachery and Mass Manipulations these days, now that the Golos deck is gone, but almost got us there. Give me the Ember Kitty. Here, kitty kitty. Yeah. We'll need to draw another land. We're on the play. We'll hope for it. Optimism. No problem drawing lands, right? Then we can bring out our Novice Pyromancer. She can make other mana. Okay. It's coming down to the wire. And don't kill my cat. But as long as we still draw a land, we can regulate. Balls. Probably takes the regulator, but might be too afraid of falling behind to a Novice Pyromancer and may take that. Yeah. Okay. Well, the good news is we still get the regulator down, probably. And keeps on top. And it was there. Oh. Got it. Oh, shoot. Well, I can't do the takesy backsies now. I guess I just have to use this now. I forgot it required a red mana for the regulator. Wonder what to discard. I think Shock is the weakest card. Keeping a Lava Coil, who knows what the opponent might play. We've only seen a tiny bit of their deck. They might have all kinds of weird critters in here. But yeah, you don't want to regulate in the main phase. Oh, we're doing this? This is what we're doing now? Alright. Well, bye-bye Lava Coil. Nice. Let's dial up the pressure, I suppose. Leaving a Bone Crusher Giant in the hand is unfortunate. I don't have to, though. I could stomp my opponent's face and play the Chandra, but I wouldn't use the regulator. Just being empty-handed against a deck that attacks the hand is interesting, but I guess the opponent kind of has to... Yeah, they have to do something about the board here. The board will damage them.
Living in a monastery full of firebrands?
Alright, make some tokens.
Don't worry. I brought
Do some damage. Opponent is impressed. We got a nice out of them with a Chandra's regulated elemental beating. And what does your Dimir deck do now? Which Dimir, speaking of Dimir, winning the vote on the YouTube community tab for the first guild we're going to play. So probably some Dimir in your future. Now here, I think we're just trying to beat the opponent down and leave them no time. No time. Down to 3, facing 2 mobilized districts. And you see the life loss price of Murderous Rider coming in, and you also see this deck can turn a corner and put damage on you quickly. Our opponent going for a lifelinker. Well, with the Bone Crusher in hand... Like right now, drawing a land is lethal, right? Because I can activate Mobilized District, attack with both. They go up to 5. I put back down to 3. Well, no. It wouldn't be lethal. How aggressive do I want to be here? Do I want to discard a Bone Crusher Giant that goes face? And try to find just a winning card? I'm gonna try. Okay. Hey! So, here's the trick. Activate. turn into a 3/3. Full control, just in case. Enter combat. Before blockers are declared, because this has vigilance, we can now make mana with it, and it stays in combat. Take out the Murderous Rider. No lifelinks for you. 5 points face. Game over. Meow. Yeah, it's a keep. Let's roll. We got Cat into a Chandra without using the mana from the cat. Our opponent snaps off Once Upon a Time. 5 deep. Find a card. Please play it just before you play a spell, though. Don't be afraid to draw your card. You'll get 1 card deeper if you're looking for something special with your Once Upon a Time. We'll get the district on the board. We'll get the Ember Cat onto the board. Prepare to party. Red-green. Are we getting gruled? And the Bone Crusher Giant takes the Ember Cat down. Evil fashion. Let's go ahead and start a little bit of a clock on the opponent. Actually, I don't know if I damage the opponent here. I think we tick up, because in this game, like looking at my options, I'm probably going to have to cast a few lava coils. And I've only got 1, so I think we tick up here and use the mode of Chandra that nobody ever remembers. Are you gonna crush bone? Are you gonna spell break? All right, fee fi fo fum. I spell the blood of a Chandra Planeswalker. That's an interesting draw because we can play it and lava coil, and I like that. And we can keep moving our Chandras up in unison.
I'm Chandra. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Chandra. I'm Chandra. Nice to meet you. Hi, Chandra. I'm Chandra. Nice to meet you. I like red cards. You like red cards? I like red cards. Can you tell from my hair that I like red cards?
Find your fires of passion within.
And away we go. Chandra Tribal going in hot. See what I did there? Uh-oh. Those are hexproof. So what do we do? This is going to be fun. This is going to be something. Chandra's Regulator. Make the elementals. Duplicate it. You see where I'm going with this? Pump the elementals. Duplicate it. Attack for 20. Attack you for 20. I guess you're blocking with those Paradise Druids. I guess someone's got to take one for the team. The opponent chooses to go all the way down to 5 and keep 1 Druid. That is what we call brave. Especially since Novice Pyromancer can deal 4 to the face. What else you got? You got Mobilized District, which we can activate for 2. Questing Beast, yeah. That is a card. And you can take out a Chandra. Whoa, you don't attack the Chandra, though, Questing Beast. Come now, is it your first day in the arena? Alright. Can't quite kill the opponent, I don't think. I can definitely Lava Coil the Beast. I can definitely Pyromance the Druid and the face. That's pretty good, and it does leave it where District can almost get there. Alright. Go away and never come back. Lord of the Rings Smeagol style. Now we will tag your it, duplicate, and hit you as well. So the opponent's at 3, which means they have to defend from the Mobilized District.
Can't handle the heat.
Now, their best shot now is going to... I don't have a 1-drop I would play here, so I'll pass and we'll regulate at some point. But their best shot now is another Questing Beast. It pretty much has to be another Questing Beast. Instead, we see Crawl Harpooner. That won't do it. So yeah, game looks to be in hand, with a Chandra minus to deal 2 damage and a Regulator on the battlefield. Don't know anything in stock rule that can, like, defeat that or just play around it or do anything about it whatsoever, so pew pew. Burn them out.
Toasted. Up in flames.
Whoosh, up in flames. Yeah. So spunky. We're already going for win number 4. I'm sure we're going to start facing some heavy hitters in the meta. So let's get it going. Let's hope that we keep lining up the creature decks and knocking them down like bowling pins. Hello, Pelt Collector. Yeah, we'll let the opponent commit to their play and then Bone Crush away. Interesting. That implies that they have Collision Colossus, and if they want to use that here, that is fine with me. They might have their own Bone Crusher Giant as well. But if they use a Collision Colossus right here, that's just, you know, they still have a 1/1 Pelt Collector, and they didn't do 4 to my face. So it's a good deal. Like, say they save the Pelt Collector, and they do. They save the Pelt Collector. Now I play my Bone Crusher Giant. How do they get through it? It's way bigger than your Pelt Collector right now. So the Collision Colossus didn't do anything. Until the Pelt Collector gets too big to handle, and then we've got to figure out what the heck to do. On the bright side, I've got 2 Lava Coils, and it's Gruul Spellbreaker as a 4/4. Here's your 2/2 Pelt Collector. I do think this Bone Crusher will trade for the Pelt Collector someday, but not this day. This day we fight. All right, let's get Chandra online. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Chandra just pirating some Smash Mouth lyrics from the 90s there. Also reminded me of One Short Day in the Emerald City from Wicked. So, here comes the giant. Gets 3 toughness out of our Pelt Collector, so we get to make this trade. Told you that would happen eventually. Let's power up a mobilized district and send it in. We don't have much to do with our mana because we're drawing pretty poorly. If the opponent takes this block, that's fine with me. Alright, that's a hit. So now we Lava Coil away the Bone Crusher Giant, and we hope our opponent doesn't have Questing Beast. I think we would have seen it last turn. It's possible that's not the case, but yeah. It's going to be bad if they do. We're going to need to draw a baby Chandra. Oh, nothing. So what's their hand? When you see a play like that, what is their hand? Embercleave, Skargan Hellkite, possibly another Bone Crusher Giant that they don't want to play as a 4/3. All right, let's keep getting in there with the district. We are going to have to close this game somehow. All right. Play out a Chandra Fire Kitty. Do I want to go face? I might need to, but the fact that Questing Beast could come down at any time, and I would love to have this survive a Questing Beast, means we don't want to leave her on the battlefield on 4 if we can avoid it. Okay, the opponent has a Bone Crusher for the cat, and now they're tapped low again, and our ability to draw lands is something. So, if we go 1, 2, 3, make a district. We can't go 1, 2, 3, make another district. The opponent's given us the GG. So let's make some red mana this way.
Hot, 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 hot.
And let's keep getting in there. Our opponent is at 6. We're getting everything we can out of these districts. There's the Hellkite. What do you do with it? 5/5. Okay. There's a Regulator. We can do 4 to face. Let's see, if I pump up both and attack, then I can put out Regulator, but I can't double the activation. This is rough. I need this to survive a turn. And how will it survive against the Hellkite? So I think what I do is I regulate now and go face, because the Chandra may not survive. Just get the opponent down to 2. I shouldn't have played the land so I can loot it. Say go, and the next turn I have enough mana to attack with both districts. So if the opponent attacks their Skargan Hellkite to kill my Pyromancer, then they have to play 2 blockers to cut off the mobilized districts from being lethal. And I don't know if they can do it. They have a Bone Crusher Giant, so they would need a 2-drop, and I would need to not top deck any sort of removal spell. Although, oh no, am I going to have enough mana to power these up if this Chandra is dead? I might not. Crap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. This might get really rough. So instead, I think we're just going to have to use Regulator to top deck into what we need. And here come the creatures. Opponent drew a Zertog Goblin, so they've got the defense, but we've got the luck.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's gonna be fun.
Bang.
Pyromaster and Firebrand.
There were a lot of top decks, to be fair, but I'm still not sure I played it expertly. But I guess getting all the direct damage out of that while I could, rather than, like, say, throwing 3 damage at the opponent with the district, I don't know. I got 4 wins, I got 4 wins, I got 4 wins. This is house money. It's house money song. House money song. Got 4 wins, house money song. Okay. Yeah. Why not? Somebody else decided to play red today. And of course we're on the draw. With no shock. Come on, shock. Okay. This can be a decent matchup if we draw enough removal. I'm nervous. Because I'm not seeing, I think, what I need to see. But our opponent hits Dwarven Mine here, which is a good sign. Here's Dodgy Boy. So getting out the Embercat right now looks like it stacks up pretty well. The problem is if the opponent shocks it, they just get in for even more damage. On the other hand, if they have to take some time killing the Embercat, maybe they don't get a chance to deploy something else from their hand. And if the Embercat lives, it's the highest upside play. Embercat doesn't actually get a lot better. Not to mention, neither of these are high-quality bone-crushing targets. And, the problem is I might just want to play this as a 4-3 and get that sweet value out of it, and then play the Pyromancer. And I think that's a better curve than playing Embercat and hoping it lives. So we'll Bone Crush something, and then we'll play Bone Crusher, and then we'll play Pyromancer, and hope we're not dead. Right now we don't have a Chandra's Triumph, so we don't have anything to interact with, say, a Chandra's Spitfire. It's rude.
Not to brag, but I'm totally the best pyromancy student.
Uh-huh.
Say hi to my fiery.
All right, let's go ahead and stomp away the 10th Street Dodger since it gets in an unblockable fashion. Our opponent has... They're on curve so far, but they haven't cavalcaded us. We need to do something about them before they can. There's a shock. Not bad. Well, now I could play Embercat and Shock instead of Giant. I actually like that better. I do want to get the Shock cast pretty much ASAP, but a Giant on the board can attack the Acolyte of Flame, which is important. Embercat can too, if Embercat lives. This is tough, but I think we'll make the more mana efficient play and just have the 4-3. It might be hard for our opponent to remove, compared to an Embercat that dies to Shock. We also want to make sure our 4-3 doesn't block the champion. It may not want to block at all, to be honest. I mean, I want to block, but might make more sense to kill the Acolyte of Flame. Hands off. Second champion. That's bad. That is really bad. Scorch Spitter. Would you like to play anything else pre-combat so I know not to play around anything? Yes, I would. Thank you. All right. Now what? Frog in my throat. So how am I taking here? 4 down to 10. If you want to throw away a Fervent Champion, that is. Now that there are 2 Fervent Champions, I would have called and blocked, even if our opponent didn't play the Spitters pre-combat. Ooh. Are you going to be a coward? What kind of red mage are you? Okay. Weird. Alright, I'm definitely sending Bone Crusher after Chandra. This opponent is showing that they are a cowardly red mage, so I think they're going to block it. The next play might be the Pyromancer and the Embercat, but I sort of like Embercat in Shock. But if I have a Pyromancer on the battlefield, the good thing about that is if the opponent doesn't kill it, the Regulator can make it kill multiple things. It's a tough call, but let's at least do the part I'm sure about. Uh-huh. No, not like that. No. No, that's not how it works. This is only when it attacks. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. New red mage. Oh, red mages. This would go in that highlight video I'm going to make someday of all the silly things red mages have done against us. Oh. I didn't want it this way. Wow. And they could still win, so I can't just be disrespectful here. All right. Let's go for you. You might die, but at least you'll take a lot of fire doing it. Let's make some red mana. And let's have an Embercat. Don't kill the cat. Don't you do it. There's the Spitfire. That is scary. If the opponent does take out the Novice Pyromancer, I'll have to finagle a way to kill it. I guess Shock, Acolyte of Flame will kill it. Opponent reading the Pyromancer. Like, well, is this a thing I attack? Here they come. You're gonna need to throw in the Spitters, though. Here they come. Bone Crusher will hit your Chandra, though. And by God, you already threw away 2 lovely Fervent Champions.
Nope. Hey, that hurt.
So we definitely take out a Spitter, because they interact so well with the Spitfire.
I'm going home.
So for 5 mana, I have Shock, Acolyte of Flame, Flashback Shock. That can get rid of the Spitfire. Do I want to throw the other... Do I want to throw this 2/2 at the Chandra as well, just to get it lower in health? What about Chandra and Regulator? 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens. Then this definitely dies, but the Spitfire doesn't. And that's not acceptable. So let's see what happens. I'm going to hold this Chandra back to cut off the other Scorched Spitter and just try to keep my life total high. If I stay alive, I should win. But I'm giving my opponent the option to throw their Spitfire under a Bone Crusher bus, which, you know, they declined. Let's check that graveyard one more time. Just make sure I didn't somehow end up with a lava coil in it. This is not what I would call the play of the day, but we do what we gotta do.
I've learned a bunch of new burn spells to try on you.
Target, auto pay, resolve,
Think on my feet.
out of there. I don't know why the game just slips into full control mode sometimes. You might have seen it right there, where I had to hit resolve on everything. It seems to have something to do with when I have an Embercat around.
Chandra Nalar, Pyromancer extraordinaire.
All right.
Mostly.
I imagine your Chandra is now going to destroy my Chandra. But you have to think about my Bone Crusher Giant just killing your Chandra. Because it's your last card. It's all you have going in the world.
Say hi to my fiery friend.
No spells to flashback either. Feels bad. But yeah, the Spitter has to go in if you want this dead, which means your Chandra dies, and you threw away your Spitter for nothing. Well, to kill this. I guess you killed this, but... You leave yourself with no board, no Planeswalker. I have a Mobilized District that's useful, a Bone Crusher Giant, and an Embercat. It's a bad position for the opponent for sure that they've backed themselves into. And you see, yeah, they're not willing to throw away their Chandra or their Spitter, depending on how they plan to block here. But it doesn't matter, because this Chandra makes elementals, so this one dies no matter what. I don't know. Can't. Red mages. What can you do? It is a tough spot. And there's a shock off the top to make it tougher. Alright, let's regulate this. Let's shock down the Scorch Spitter. And I think what I want a value Chandra. I'm not that worried about all the tokens. I'm going to kill this Chandra. I'm going to hit the opponent's face. I'm also just going to pump it so that it can survive any nonsense. So we pump up our Chandra, and maybe it'll help. We're showing our opponent that there are other modes to Chandra, the Acolyte of Flame. But we are going to turn on the beats pretty soon.
Consider this bridge burned.
Let's go ahead and use this regulator, discard this mountain. If we draw another one, we'll play it. Yeah, because this is a mana-intensive deck. But at least we get 2 mountains deeper. And I would have taken any spell rather than another land drop there. Ooh, a late Cavalcade. Alright, how much damage can we deal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Close, but not quite. So, let's at least get it going.
Don't worry. I brought
Power up the district. And get busy. How you doing? And end the turn, and we still have Bone Crusher Giant open thanks to the Mobilized District's vigilance here. So if the opponent does draw a little creature with haste to try to do anything, the Giant just takes it out. And another Spitfire. Alright, well, let's send a Stomp upstairs. That won't be enough to win, and there's a Chandra's Triumph to wrap it up. But yeah, you see what I mean? How it enters full control where I have to click resolve on everything now? It's kind of weird. Seems to happen when I have an Ember Cat. Yeah, we're going first. We got 2 Planeswalkers and a Regulator and a removal spell. And it's the removal spell that hits the hardest, so we're good. This is fine. Temple of Silence. To the top. Alright. Ooh, kitty cat? Yeah, kitty cat. What you got? Put him to the test right away with the Ember Cat. Fabled Passage is a tap land. Excellent. We can get the District online and the Pyromancer. Let's go. Let's go ahead and make the mana and get the Regulator down as well. And this is a huge opening. A huge opening. Esper for the opponent. Let's see what they've got. Oath of Kaya, not surprising. Ember Cat, you got it. But you will suffer. Alright. Let's turn up the heat. I think I already used that pun. Whatever.
Anyone need a fire started? No? Too bad.
Pay 1. Duplicate it. Buff it. I wish I had 1 more mana. I'll have to settle for 12 face damage. Opponent to 9. Basically, yeah, this is the draw you look for. Murderous Rider. All right. Another Regulator. So we want to get this game over with. 1, 2, 3. We can power up the District. And yeah, this is just lethal. Yeah, with the Chandra minus and the Regulator activation, it's 4 more to face, and that's just lethal. That is straight up lethal through turn 3 Oath of Kaya, turn 4 Murderous Rider out of Esper. Oh, we're rolling for 7-0, my friends. Can't argue with this. We get to be on the play. We have our best removal spells. Let's rock. I almost didn't play this deck because I thought there's no way it could have gotten much better. Since it runs almost no cards from Eldraine, but here we are. And yeah, here looking for the 7-0 is where we find Simic. Not surprising. It's no surprise. Let's cook that goose. Slow down, buddy. Never mind. The opponent refuses to slow down. Gotta keep them regulated, so let's get this on the board. Next turn we have a Pyromancer into a Triumph if the opponent goes Questing Beast or something. Oko. That's the great thing about Chandra's Triumph. Won't kill the Oko. Oh, never mind, it will. Lucky me. So the opponent decides to give me an Elk here.
Oh dear.
Huh. Do you think they'll block to protect the Oko? I really want them to. That's the thing, right? I can kill the Oko. I can play the Pyromancer and kill the Oko right now, but I want them to block. I really want them to block. They don't. Okay. Well, on the bright side, I get to save the Triumph.
So much to see. Fired up.
So what's wrong with taking the back seats? All right, let's hope that this can live, though. We do need her on the battlefield to make the Triumphs really good. Chandra the Awakened Inferno. I love you, but the non-elemental thing doesn't help. Because the non-elemental thing means that the Nissa lands survive. It's such a problem. Another Paradise Druid. And no attacks. Our opponent missing their land drop with a Hydroid Krasis in play that they took off once upon a time. They have to be setting up for a Nissa who shakes the world. I don't think anything else would make sense. So we can power up the district. We can get busy with both of these 3/3s. We can make 2 mana and go Awaken Inferno. And sweep these up. Now it does help. If we're gonna do that, we want to attack first. Elkum. Elkum right in the face. Yeah, the opponent takes it. Alright. Make the mana.
Time for sparks to fly.
Awaken the Inferno. And blow up the Paradise Druids.
Let's make this quick. I've got other things to burn.
Grown-up Chandra, meet baby Chandra. You have crossed the timelines. The opponent will eat some food, which I actually like. It takes Wicked Wolf. Makes Wicked Wolf much more killable. And no land scoop. Are you kidding me? Looks like Oko can't do it alone. I almost didn't play this deck because I thought it just didn't get much from the new set, and it wasn't that good before. But it's definitely an example of a mid-range deck that just was crowded way out by Field of the Dead, but may not be as crowded out anymore. Gem City. I hope you enjoyed this video with Chandra Tribal in Standard as part of the Covert Go Red Color Challenge. Next up in the Color Challenge, we'll be looking at some of the other great formats and a budget option from the free-to-play account for the Red Mages out there. So that's a free-to-play deck, that is a Brawl deck, that is a historic deck in the color Red. So look forward to that here on the channel. And then after that, we have a poll going on the community tab. My subscribers can vote in it. You can also click on my channel and go over to community. It's on the right. It has 2,400 votes or something, but we're doing a vote for what comes after we finish the color challenge for Mono Red. And right now it looks like the answer is Dimir, blue and black. So that's exciting. And look forward to that and more here on the Covert Go Blue Color Challenge. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.